Okay, so now that we have all of the pieces that we need, we'll just crunch the numbers and solve for dH over dt. So, and maybe something to watch out for here is I'm doing it in a way to keep all of the precision, and that involves just using some properties of fractions and things like that. It's those skills that are nice having our back pocket. Um, so dv over dt is 0. We have 2 pi. R is 15 over 2. dr over dt is negative 6 fifths. H is 64 over 9. And then we have plus pi. And then 15 over 2 squared. And dh over dt is what we're looking for. Okay. So let's see some cleanup that we can do. I'm looking at numerators and denominators of the fractions. So the 2's become 1's because we can reduce that. Another thing we can reduce is the 15 and the 5. So the 5 becomes a 1, the 15 becomes a 3. Let's see, what else can we do? 6 and the 9, of course. The 6, divide both of them by 3. 6 becomes a 2. 9 becomes a 3. And then we have a 3 and a 3, which is convenient. So that becomes 1. That becomes 1. And then is everything spoken for? Yeah, so then we have 0 equals 64 times 2 is 128. So we have negative 128 pi plus 15 squared, which we did a few moments ago, is 225. So 225 pi over 4 dH over dt. And then I'll move this to the other side. So 128 pi equals 225 pi over 4 dH over dt. By the way, I'm just going to get on my soapbox here for a moment. This is the reason why I know it looks like a lot of writing, this is a lot of writing, but I would rather write everything down and get exact values than try and take shortcuts in my head and not have a paper trail, um, and then end up like having to start from scratch if I made a mistake. So write stuff down. You have to use paper. You have to writing stuff. Yeah, you have to write it. Be organized because it's a skill that has to be practiced, right? So unless you make it a habit, it's not going to be a meaningful change. So practice doing it, make it part of your regular routine, write stuff down, be organized. And I try and demonstrate some of the tips for organization and writing your work. So anyway, I'll get off the soapbox. Okay, so now at this point, we can actually divide both sides by pi. That's pretty convenient. So dividing both sides by pi, and then to get dH over dt by itself, let's multiply both sides by 4 over 225. 4 over 225. And then we have on this side just our dH over dt. And let's see what can be simplified here. 225 and 128. Is there anything they have in common? I'm not seeing, because these are just a bunch of 5s in here. 128 has a bunch of 2s in it, and yeah, it really doesn't look like any common factors. 128 times 4 is, let's see, 122, 56, 512. So 512 over 225 inches per minute. Okay, and let me just make sure that's correct here. I'm going to the slides. 512 over 225 inches per minute, and yeah. So yeah, that's it.